What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my dog, Martin Skirsis, for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, I'm a bit late. What is it? 2 weeks late, a week late, some amount of time late on this one. But I want to cover it. It's funny. His Turki Alalshihk aired out Jake the Fake Paul with some pretty good bars, so we're going to listen to it now. This is obviously in regards to the whole Canelo situation. Bear with me here. He's going to let you man know a few details which are worth knowing. Here we go. Bash.
And I said to him, hello, brother. You know, this fight will damage the pictures and the idea about our plan. And honestly, I think you are, as a Canelo, too young to take this fight. You can have it after 30 years.
Right.
When he is 60. Then he said to me, brother, you know, from my inside, I don't want this fight ever. But I said to you, take the May fight. I don't have something in the table and I must fight before Crawford. And we discuss, and in 5 minutes, we closing the deal. And that's it.
So you mentioned wrong information. What was the wrong information that you needed to make sure this happens? Was this fight with Jake Paul in your minds going to happen unless you stepped in last night at the last minute?
It was big offer for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't match this offer, to be honestly. But he know inside him this match is not the right of his legacy. And when the perfect time, when I call him, he know he's a smart guy and he know what's better for him.
And obviously, Canelo Alvarez is one of the best fighters in the world, right? He's the biggest star in boxing by far. He's the face of the sport. You think it would have been perhaps beneath him, right, to fight a Jake Paul?
In my opinion, in this age and in this time, we must have this kind of legend and fighters fight great and big fights. Because, he's now in the mid of 30.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to waste time.
Right. And I'm imagining from your perspective, you had this major fight with Terence Crawford planned for September. You don't want some circus fight leading up to it. Was that your issue?
I have advice for the platforms. They have the bound YouTuber. There is good advice. I have good advice for them. Let them bring Mr. Peace. And we can sanction it with Disney for the build of the YouTube. And everyone will subscribe and see it.
Jake Paul versus Mr. Beast.
Everyone will see it. And the YouTuber build.
But in the end, you're basically saying, right, you don't want to see real fighters fighting YouTubers. If the YouTubers want to fight, so be it. But they should fight other YouTubers.
I don't prefer to see this fight. And there is some word is strange.
So we just heard there from his Turki Alalshihk, and I'm not going to get too much into my opinion on the fight not happening. You man know I want the fight to happen, and it will happen. End of the day, like I said before, when this 4-fight deal's done, and even if there's another 4-fight deal, at some point I assume the Canelo Turkey situation's going to fizzle out inevitably. Whether it's 4 fights, 8 fights, 12 fights, it's going to fizzle out. And at that point, we're back to where we started, which is Canelo being offered more money, like Turkey admitted. They offered him more money than Turkey was putting up. So the only difference will be Canelo will be 40, 50, and it's all fun and games. And he'll be 60. To be fair, I don't think their age difference is that big. Probably 8 years between Fake Paul and Canelo. So he wants to get it right. Jake Paul will be like, I don't know, 32, and Canelo will be 50. That's what he's looking for. He's pitching for that age. So he's around prime age, and Canelo is somewhere in between. Some dude in the comments said, so Canelo's somewhere in between sniffing his chops off the El Chapo and a retirement home. He's in that middle stage. You know the stage where you've stopped competing, you bang on the sniff, you bang on the El Chapo, you bang on the Pablo Ahmad 100% pure Escobar, but you haven't yet made it to the retirement home. That's the range that Jake Paul likes to fight people in. Anderson Silva, we know he's Brazilian. Yeah? Brazil ain't that far from Colombia. Oops. So he was sniffed off his chops as well, most likely, right? Again, what do we know about Anderson Silva? He's halfway between sniffing his chops off and a retirement home. Bash for Jake Paul. Mike Tyson. Oops. Yeah? He getting them primo Colombian flakes. That's what he been doing. Not my opinion. Not my jokes. That's what he been doing. We know that for a fact. Who here would agree rather, that Mike Tyson is halfway between sniffing his chops off and retirement home? That's a fact. That's nothing to do with me. Yeah, he's closer to a retirement home / the period of his life when he was sniffing his chops off than he is being a healthy, able-bodied male, right? Stop playing with me. So, listen. Jake Paul, yeah, he's hoping Canelo gets long in the tooth, super long in the tooth, and super sniffed up his nose. That perfect little, that's the golden. Some scientist cats, yeah, when they're looking at the universe, allegedly, and they're trying to find Earth-like planets, they call it the golden zone. That is the golden zone for Jake Paul. Old and or sniffed off your chops. Not been trained even a little bit. Right, that's the truth here. So it's all fun and games now. Yeah, I like the bars from Turkey were good. The undisputed YouTuber. It's a violation, no doubt. But what will be a bigger violation, an unintended consequence, would be Fake Paul catching Canelo slipping somehow, some way, right? And the more years that go by, the odds only get better for Fake Paul. Even if he's 1,000 to 1 right now, he'll be 500 to 1 10 years from now. Or, you know what I'm trying to say? They should have been got this guy smoked. Yeah? They should have been got this guy smoked. And I don't agree with the argument that it brings the sport into disrepute and it devalues what Turkey had going on. If anything, that Crawford fight will be a lot bigger, commercially speaking. Now, we can debate the purity of the game's sake. No one's watching boxing for the purity of the game's sake. Meaning that no one is going to see Canelo versus Jake Paul and then opt out of Canelo versus Benavidez, Crawford, Bivol 2 kind of thing. No one's going to do that. So I can't justify the narrative that, yeah, it's good to squeeze Jake Paul out. What's the best thing to do is get him proper embarrassed. That's how you show someone that you're a YouTuber. Yeah, and Turkey could have got in the mix, promoted that fight, and then brought his belt into the ring. When Jake Paul splattered on the floor, Turkey could have rocked in there with the undisputed Disney YouTube belt and just slapped it on his head as whilst he's on the oxygen. Yeah? Wrapped it round his waist and just wrapped that belt around his waist. The Disney undisputed Disney cornball YouTuber belt. And I'll design it for you, no doubt. I'll design it proper for him. And you wrap it round his waist. That would have been the real truth. That's what people want to see, right? Give the people what they want to see. Now, moving on from that. That's done now. Yeah, that's done. Forget about it now. What we can't forget about, though, there's plenty of other fighters out there. Now, listen, Turkey's not going to listen to me. You don't even know me. But there's a whole bunch of dudes hanging around right now. For example, Francis Mbonga. He has the cross promotional thingy between UFC and boxing and whatever else. He's, you know what I mean? He's a bit all over the place. Point. To some extent, it could be said that Ngannou is in a similar realm to Jake Paul. He's not really doing boxing super serious. He did fight Tyson Fury and AJ, to be fair. But you know what I mean? In terms of career mode, he's kind of like a mercenary. Mbonga right now is a mercenary. He dips in, he dips out. What do we do with mercenaries? We get them to handle work that we don't want to lead back to the state. Oops. Right? What do they call it? What's that one called? I've got the word I'm looking for, but you get the point I'm making. Yeah? One of them spy operations. So you're sending Bunga in to handle that. Jake Paul never fighting Bunga, to be fair, too big. Jake Paul needs that size. He needs to convince himself he can do something. That's why he liked Carrot Top. He thought, yep, he's 5 foot tall. I can make it work. He'd never fight in Bunga, to be fair. So maybe I'm just blowing. But I'm saying, listen, offer it to him. Mbonga would do. He's not going to fight AJ. He's not going to fight. Well, I'm not even, to be fair, I'm not even sure Wilder would handle it, man. On principle, I'd back Wilder, but I'm not sure he'd get it done. I think he might end up stinking the place out and losing on points. Seriously. As much as it hurts me to say that, I would not be shocked that Jake Paul boxes up. Man, that's mad. I would not be shocked at all. I'd back him, though. I reckon the odds would be massive in Wilder's favour. So I wouldn't back him with no coins. It wouldn't make sense. But if the fight was close, which it wouldn't be in terms of odds. But listen, I might look the other way, to be fair. If I saw Wilder was a 10-1 favourite against Jake Paul, I'm not putting 100 quid on to make what? A tenner profit. That's what I'm not doing. So we can't even. I trust Mbonga. Mbonga would get it done. Mbonga would proper fill Jake Paul in. Wilder, I'm not so sure. Who else have we got in lower weight divisions like cruiserweight? There's no one really with the crossover appeal. You think about people like Carl Froch and Tony Bellew. Great, I'd take them. I'd like to see that, but they haven't got the. Jake Paul's not going to go for that. He wanted Canelo because it's a massive name and it's going to do numbers in the States. Who have we got who's knocking around? Golovkin again, he doesn't have no crossover appeal really. He's known for losing to Canelo 3 times, essentially. Who else have we got who's small but has clout? Andre Ward, I guess. Even him though, he has no crossover appeal. He didn't hit like that. He wasn't doing big numbers. I don't know what to say, people. But I vehemently disagree that it's not something we need to see. And this is the first time really I've aggressively disagreed with Turkey. And I can't really understand the angle too much. I don't really get it. Yeah. If someone's asking for something, you give it to him. If he's asking for it, if he wants it with Canelo, as silly as it may be, it's fun at the end of the day, it's entertainment. And it is sport. Whatever, you can knock Jake Paul all you want. He can't box with toffee, but he does train. He has got in the ring. So if he thinks, and putting that to one side, yes, Mike sold out. Yes, Mike cucked us, man. He bumped my money. He bumped my money bad. That's what he did. And I'm not forgiving him for that. But the fact he's a sellout is one thing. Taking the personality of Mike out of things, someone needs to handle that for Mike. Old washed up Mike. Sniffed off his chops for 20 years. Yeah? Turkey should be saying, you know what? I don't necessarily like the fact I've got to get Jake Paul filled in, but it's something that must be done. Yeah? It must be done. To have Mike in there chewing his fucking glove, man. I've never seen nothing like it. It's chewing on his glove. Oh, that's mad. That's a violation, man. Watch that fight back. Watch that Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Mike's standing there puffing and chewing his glove. It's not on, man. It's embarrassing. And Jake Paul standing there at the end acting like an anime character because he's got someone's granddad in there. Yeah? He's got someone granddad in there is what he had, right? Jake Paul standing there like he's an anime god, and Mike Tyson's like puffing the life out of him. That wasn't a good look, man. That wasn't a good look. And you got Jake Paul masquerading, I'm the most dangerous man alive. I box his head off. Come on, people, get this guy filled in. Get him filled in, man. Yeah, get a mercenary on this one. And Canelo could have been that guy. So you probably have noticed by now, I am wounded by it. That would have been probably the fight of the year I was looking forward to. Canelo versus Jake Paul. Proper. I would have loved seeing that. Because he would have got proper. His legs would have got ridden off him. You wouldn't believe it, the things he'd do to him. Then again, look at Bumlanga though. Bumlanga was small. Right? And no good. But he got punched out. He didn't want to fight. So yeah, Canelo won every round almost. And put him down. Bumlanga, you can say, I don't know, Jake Paul's size, you know. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Given Jake Paul's size, if he did as badly as in Bumlanga. Edgar Bumlanga, I would not be shocked. Given Jake Paul's going to be in the ring at 220, Canelo's going to probably be in the ring at 200, flat. And Jake Paul's 6'1" or whatever, and Canelo's 5 foot tall. I would not be surprised if Jake Paul runs around the place, proper runs the whole way, loses every round, but survives. And it looks as pathetic as Bumlanga did. I've got to be honest. He does know how to run around the ring when chased. Mike was chasing him in the first or second round. Jake was like, just running around the place like a headless chicken. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this one, people. Stop it. And last thing, actually, I can't quite understand. I know I keep ranting on, but I just don't understand. Can someone explain to me the narrative of, oh, this fight not happening is good for boxing? Oh, it devalues the sport. I just don't understand that narrative, man. This would show the masses that you don't play boxing. This would show the masses this ain't that, what you think it is. This ain't WWE. Whereas a big script, although it might be a script to be fair. Fake the Cake Paul and Shekels, his family Shekels, they might know something we don't. Oops. Yeah. They might wire some of them moody central bank coins into Canelo's bank and tell him, listen, Carrot Top, you're going to take a dive for $1 billion of fake moody fiat. Oops. And what's Carrot Top going to do? He's going to jump on the floor. Eddie Hearn exposed this. Eddie Hearn said, this guy, he just wants money. Got no loyalty at all. I don't particularly care whether Canelo has loyalty or not, but the question is, if he gets $1 billion, jump on the floor and make a clown of himself, will he? I wouldn't put it past Canelo. I really would. I hate to say it, I really wouldn't. I wouldn't put it past Canelo to jump on the floor for $1 billion and think, whatever, who cares? I've lost before. I've got $1 billion. People like Tyson Fury as well, they say things like, I don't care about belts, I don't care about legacy, all I can really use is the coins. And I get them vibes from Canelo, to be honest. Would I sit here and tell you 100% trust he's not going to jump on the floor? I would not. Or just lose on point somehow, like Mike did, to stand there chewing his glove. It's possible. So maybe it is for the best we don't have it, to be honest. Maybe it is for the best. Because it don't make no sense to me. Why would Jake Paul want that? If he wasn't scripted and rigged, why would he ever want that? He must know, surely. And I've seen Jake Paul's sparring camps. He brings pure bums in. He's not sparring with legitimate cruiserweights / heavyweights. He's not. So either his head's been blown up with fake news that he actually thinks he's doing it with proper professionals, or he knows something we don't. He knows Mike Tyson was paid to stand there and chew his glove and do nothing. He knows Carrot Top will be paid to stand there and get boxed up. Then again, though, if Jake Paul was that good at rigging things, he'd have rigged it against Tommy, right? So maybe forget them bars about the rigging. He can't be rigging that hard, can he? Because he couldn't get the script right with Tommy. And that would have been the bar for rigging a Tommy fight would have been exponentially lower than rigging a Canelo fight. You're going to need probably 500 mil plus to rig Canelo to do nothing. And even Mike Tyson, I don't know. He sniffed most of his coins. You can never trust a sniffhead. They say, there's an old saying, a proverbial saying, never trust a sniffhead. Never trust a sniffhead. Never trust a sniffhead. Yeah. So Mike, he sniffed all his coins away. And people, it won't be long from now, Mike will be doing dances for $100 on the corner in Vegas. That's what he'll be doing. He's got that character arc. Yeah, he'll be in Vegas doing jigabooing for coin is what he'll be doing. So Mike's bar's pretty low as well, but Canelo's going to be a lot. But he couldn't rig Tommy. What's Tommy's going to be? Tommy would sell out for 10 mil, right? He would sell out for 10 mil. And they didn't pay him that. Unless they thought, well, with Tommy, we can actually beat him, right? They might have actually thought, we don't need to rig this guy because we can actually beat this one. What's he going to do? Yeah? And it's probably after the Tommy loss, they started thinking, actually, it's probably best we make sure we're going to win next time. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash a like button, subscribe, like the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this on people. Stop it.